Hello, I'm Boone FM and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today for this fun, hopefully fun little video. It's another little database I've made. And it's a bit of a blast from the past. It's something I've talked about in recent episodes on my current series with Manchester Central. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Links in the description. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you're not subbed, hopefully you'll sub. Come and join the family. But I was talking about it recently. I've been talking about it with one of my favourite subscribers, the Unflushable. Link to his channel down below. Top guy. And it was something I really liked. And what it is we have, if you're not from England, we have a TV channel in England called Sky One. And from 1997 till 2007, we had a TV show called The Dream Team. It followed the fictional team, Harchester United, and it was like a soap opera. Many ups and downs. But I was a young lad and I loved that show. I mean, it was really, really good. Some great characters. And I've said this before, but the star striker, Fletcher, everyone called him Fletch. I always remembered that name. And I had a son last year and I managed to convince the wife to call him Fletcher. I love it. So my son is Fletch. Maybe he's going to become the star striker of Harchester United one day. So, the Unflushable, God bless him, top lad, he said, why don't you make it a little database out of it? And I think it's been done in the past when the TV, when it was on TV, but it's been like 11 years I think since it went off air. 2007 it finished. I can't believe it. So some of you might have never heard of it. Now, they were actually on the game, and I think there is a version of Harchester on the game, not the proper Harchester United, but Harchester United were on the game once as like a playable lower league club. But what I've done is I've recreated the proper Harchester United. We've got the proper club. I've actually made Harchester the city. They're based in the Midlands. I've given them their history because they won 2 Premier League titles. They've won an FA Cup, I think, or League Cup. They've won a few things. I've given them their old traditional chairman. We've got a load of star players. There's loads of players over the 10 years it was on TV. I just picked about 23 of my favourite players I remembered. I've tried to make them quite accurate, various ages. But basically, this database is going to be more of a challenge to you. You'll be able to download the database. You'll be able to download the save file. I'm going to challenge you. But before I tell you what that challenge is, smash the like button and drop a sub. But before I tell you what that challenge is, let's get looking at Harchester United. Here we are with the famous Harchester United, the Dragons, playing in the Dragons' lair, famous purple kit. I love this TV show. Now I've really tried to put as much detail into it as I can. Try and make it as accurate as possible, but that's tough, obviously. You might have been a fan of this show and I might have forgot to put one of your players in. Put them in yourself. If you've got the database, do it yourself. But we've got quite a lot of the main ones. And also, you might look at the top there and see what league they're in. There's different things I wanted to do. Should I make them a lower league club? Should I give them, try and put them at the bottom so you could take them through the leagues? But then I thought, no, because they're not a lower league club. But then I thought, should I put them in the Premier League? Maybe. But then I remembered back when the show started, I'm sure they started in the Championship, or they'd just come out of the Championship. So, this is the future. This is 2017 in-game. So I thought, why not give you a challenge? Why not? I'm going to put this team. We're going to pretend, basically, they've just been relegated from the Premier League. They've got their Premier League squad. And basically, I'm going to holiday a year and see what the computer does. But then I'm going to challenge you to see what you can do. Can you keep this squad? Can you change the squad? Basically, can you get back in the Premier League after one attempt? And then how quick will it be before you win the Premier League? Just a challenge, man. But it's Harchester United. If you're a fan of fantasy football manager games, this game could be for you. And if you're a fan of Harchester United, this could be perfect. So let's have a look at the players. Now then, here's the squad, and it's arranged by value. And you can look through that list and you will see a lot of players' names you maybe remember from the TV show. If you've never seen the TV show though, there's some great players. And I mean, I've gone for different ages. There's a website online that you can get a detailed biography of the club. You can get a detailed biography of every single player. So I've gone off that. when it comes to roughly what their age were when they were on the show, roughly what their abilities were, and so on and so on. I haven't put in their entire histories, because come on man, that would take me weeks. So you've got this squad here that's just got relegated. So you've got a lot of Premier League players in it, you've got a lot of okay players, and you've got a few average players. It's going to be interesting to see, can you keep hold of them? What'll happen? Do they sell them all off? I don't know, but you've got the famous ones. And the first one we're going to look at is Fletcher, the superstar of the club. He's 29 years old. He's only worth 8.5 million, but he's a great striker. Look at his finishing, he's a goal machine. So you've got the legendary Fletcher. The next one, I'd say, has to be Luis Amor Rodriguez. Now, this guy's an Argentinian master. His biography says he basically was Maradona. So he's quality. Will you keep him? It'll be tough to keep him, but you'll want to keep him because he's freaking awesome. It's Luis Amor Rodriguez. Do you remember he had an affair with the chairman, Linda Block, who, by the way, is your chairman on this database as well. And then if we have a look, Luke Davenport, he was if you remember this, he's alright in here, but he's young, he's got promise. On the TV show, he was a Man United youth player. I think he won the treble at United. We sold him to Barcelona. He'd been in Barcelona a few years, and then he joined Harchester. So he's a big lad with a lot of promise. We've also got Didier Baptiste, I always remember him, the big French centre-half. Didier Baptiste, when Harchester actually signed him for 3.5 million, it got leaked in the press as a joke that Liverpool were signing him, and it actually got carried on like a real story. Some press reports thought that Liverpool were actually buying a French international World Cup winner called Didier Baptiste. And it wasn't real, so great player. I try to make him like he was on the TV show. He's a bit of a ball player, bit of skill. It's like got a good first touch. So you've got a legendary centre half, and if you look through them, honestly, you've got some top players. Scott Lucas, he was a legend on the TV show. He's a great player as well. He's only 24. A lot of these players come through the actual youth academy as well. So if you do take on this database and you do want to play as Harchester United, if you do get into the Champions League or Europe after a couple of seasons, you're going to have enough homegrown players if you keep hold of them. So your squad should be okay. Alright, so we could go through all them players, but I won't ruin it. I'll leave that for you to look at. Now, when it comes to staff, that's something you're going to need to build yourself. I've only put in a manager who obviously won't be the manager if you take the job on, and that's the last ever manager that Harchester United had in the series, and that was Jimmy Craig. But they've got the original chairman, Jerry Block, and his young wife, Linda Block, who's gorgeous. You'll see her on the thumbnail. She's probably more famous today for being in a TV show in England called Coronation Street. But yeah, she was young back in the day. She had an affair with a player, and yeah, legend. But when it comes to the staff, if you carry on the save file, you'll get these boys to build off, which is never that good because they're all regens. But if you get the database, you can maybe add your own staff, or you'll get your own regen staff. But it gives you something to do. I couldn't be bothered putting them all in. You got to do something yourself, man. Now, when it comes to the facilities, you've obviously got the Dragon's Lair, the famous stadium. The stadium they used on the TV show was the Den, Millwall Stadium. You might recognise that in the background of the thumbnail. And on Wiki it says it's a 32,000 odd seater. I don't know what the Den is, but it's not the Den, is it? It's the Dragon's Lair. You've also got a training complex, which is half decent, it's not bad, called the Dragons Training Complex in Harchester, in the East Midlands. And it's all okay. You've got decent corporate facilities, good training facilities, excellent youth facilities, but they're nowhere near the top. You've got a lot of room for improvement. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, this just building this database brings back a lot of nostalgia for me for a TV show. I absolutely loved it back in the day. They should bring it back. Modern day Premier League on something like Sky One. They could put a good show together now, I bet you. Now, when it comes to the season odds, I did make the club, by reputation, the fourth biggest club in this division. I did give these three other teams who've got a bigger reputation, but obviously with the good players you've got, they're definitely favourites to go up. And that was the thing when I was putting them together. I've not made these players superstars. I mean, take for instance Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Their highest potential ability is like 190 something, right? A lot of your squad here in 160s, early 170s. I think there might be one player who's got the potential to be 180. So obviously they're not awesome, but there's still some really, really good players you can use, maybe keep, maybe build a team around, and then obviously bring some youth through as well. But to start off, you've really got some really quality players, and if you look here at the media Dream 11, it pretty much is Harchester United players. I mean, Fletcher up top, man. You can't be stopped. When it comes to tactics, the club likes 4-4-2. That's old school English tactic, innit? I like 4-4-2. So the club do like that style, but obviously I wouldn't be too bothered about bringing your own formation. A lot of the players can play in various positions. You've got strikers who can play out wide, you've got wide players who can cover in the middle, you've got central midfielders who can cover straight through, fullbacks who can go wing back, and ball playing centre half. You've got really defensive, old school English centre half. So you're really not stuck to that 4-4-2. You could probably really, play around and have a good few different kind of formations. Here's the history of Harchester United, and I have had to change it. On the TV show, when Manchester United were winning the treble in 1999, on the TV show, they lost the FA Cup to Harchester. So they have won a couple. I think they won the FA Cup in 2006 on the show. They've won a couple of Sky Bet championships, one Community Shield, and they won a Premier League. They won the old First Division, which is obviously now the Premier League, in the 1980s, and then they won one at some point, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I've actually changed. That is the actual history of Harchester United. So it's something. They're not the crappiest club in the world. No, this is something that excites me, and I might have to make a series out of this at some point. Now, if we go on the general page, when you go onto Wiki, you can look at all the club legends and stuff, and I was going to do that. And then I just thought, no, let's leave it. Let's leave all that clear. Let that grow itself. I kind of like the idea of that. When it comes to rivalries, obviously they were fictionally from the East Midlands, so I found a tiny little village, I can't remember its name, that was in the East Midlands. I've changed it to Harchester, turned it into a city, give it a big population. And then all the local teams in the East Midlands I've made as rivals, local rivals. The biggest club in the East Midlands is Leicester. And Leicester have got a lot of rivals, but they didn't have a main rival. They've not got a rival that's at the very top when it comes to a reputation. So I thought, that's perfect. So I've made Harchester and Leicester arch rivals, and they've got their own derby, which is the East Midlands derby. So if you get in the Premier League, Leicester's the team to look out for. You don't want to be getting beat off Leicester. And I've given you an affiliate club, another club from the East Midlands. You've got Forest and all that around there. I think one of the smaller teams that I like is Notts County. So I just thought that'd be a great club. They're a few divisions below you. They're in League 2. A team could maybe send players out on loan to, give them a go and stuff like that. So yeah, that's your affiliate. Now when it comes to the money as well, I've not gone crazy. You're a team that's just been relegated from the Premier League, so you would have had a parachute payment. You've got 28 million. That's it. So you're not blowing the bank. So you might have to sell a player to really boost the squad up if you want. Or try and keep hold of him. The computer probably won't keep hold of him. When we're holiday season, I can imagine Jimmy Craig, the manager, selling a few. It's a computer. The computer AI is stupid, right? But you maybe can hang on to him and get him back in the Premier League and keep them all happy. Because the squad wages aren't stupid. Nobody's on like 100 grand a week. They've got decent normal contracts. So if you can just keep hold of them for that first season, you should walk this league. And then it'll be interesting to see if any of you can actually win a Premier League. All we're going to do though now is holiday 1 year and see how well they get out. See what the computer does this first season, and they'll give you an idea of what you maybe can do. Welcome back. It's the 1st of July 2018. If you look at the very top there, you'll see Harchester United are in the Premier League. So they definitely did it. Well done, boys. But from an initial look, yeah, I wouldn't have done it this way. But let's have a look at how they did in the league first. Well, as you can see, they freaking walked it. They only lost 4 games, drawn 3, won 39, finished with 120 points. This should do. If he's kept most of his squad together, he should do. Even if he's got rid of a few, which I think he did. You should definitely walk it. So basically, that's the challenge to you. If you can't walk this league, you're doing something wrong, and maybe you need to think about how you're training your players or whatever. Maybe you didn't get the better staff in or so on. I don't know. But it should be easy enough for you. I think the real challenge is getting in that Premier League. Can you stay in the Prem? How long can you win the Premier League? Can you get Harchester their 3rd ever title? So on that first year, the transfers they made, yeah, I mean, they brought in some players, but they should do when they got rid of £108 million worth of talent. I mean, they've sold Scott Lucas in that first season. Scott, who's a cracking right winger, can cover up front. Great player on the TV series. Has now got a Real Madrid, 26 years old, top player. Luis Amor Rodriguez sold into FC Bayern. Alright, fair enough. But you keep Luis Amor, you could build an entire team around him. He's a genius. Maybe it was Jimmy Block, is it? The owner. Luis Amor was probably having an affair with Linda Block again. You know what I mean? Got rid of him, had to sell him. Not good for the club. Carl Fletcher, this disappointed me. He's gone to Liverpool and all. Carl Fletcher's the freaking hero. He's the hero. When you look online, Carl Fletcher's down as the greatest player in Harchester United's history, and he sold him in his first year. I'm not happy with that, I tell you. And the other two are just loans. But you know, they brought in Moussa Dembele, great young striker. I think we all know about Moussa this year on the game. He's a good young player, so fair enough. But Carl Fletcher. And Rafa Silva they brought in for quite a bit of money. 25 years old. He's covering Scott Lucas. So he's brought in two players to replace the two big ones he's left. But without Luis Amor Rodriguez as well. Gutted. And then moving on to this season, obviously the summer's happening. It's the 1st of July. They're in the Premier League. They've brought in a good player here, a good right back in it from Juve. Matteo that's his name, Matt. Good young right. Oh, left back, can play right back as well. But again, they've sold a load of great players. They've sold Luke Davenport to freaking Man City. That's a good player. He's got so much promise. They shouldn't be selling him. They've sold Dean Hocknell. Good striker. He's probably one of your backup strikers. He's gone to Tottenham. I mean, he's a good player. He's not one of your best strikers, though. So you could probably do without Dean. Curtis Alexander, though, one of the absolute legends of the TV series. Beast of a striker. A beast, right? He's got Man United. I mean, they've got some money in the bank, don't get me wrong. I mean, they brought in 177, so they're really rich. And Danny Sullivan, legendary centre-half. Look how good he is. Club captain. He's gone to Man City. So he's definitely weakened the team, but he's got a lot of money, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. But we're not going to look at how they do. It's all about how you do. And to be fair to them, this first season in the league, they are predicted to finish 5th, which is pretty good. They've still got loads of great players that they've kept hold of. So, you know, it's Harchester United. I'd be interested to see how you do it. If you keep all the same players, you'll be laughing. And if you could probably sell a few, bring in some really good players, some real players. And honestly, when you look at the database, you'll see I haven't gone stupid on their potential ability. I really haven't. It's just, you know, I've gone off the profiles online, so I still think this would be a lot of fun to play. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Can you take Harchester from the Championship to the Premier League? Can you take them to the top of the Premier League? Can you take them to European glory? Do you know what I mean? Can you do it? They deserve to be one of the biggest clubs in England. They're still probably one of the most famous clubs in England. The famous purple kit, the famous dragon crest, playing at the Dragon's Lair. Do you know what I mean? With some absolutely legendary players. You know, bring some young players through, make a new story for Harchester United. I'd be well interested to know. If you're a fan of the show, hopefully you'll download it. Even if you've never heard of the show, it's something different. I love a good fantasy team, and this is probably one of the best fantasy teams you're going to get to play with. It's fun. Now I'll try and put links to everything down below, not just my essential series, but to save files to the database on Steam. I'll even try and put the wiki page in as well, so you can read about the club's fictional history. Great history. Honestly, it goes all the way back to the 1880s. It's brilliant. It's a good read. So hopefully you enjoy that. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. Go and check out all my other content. This week I have got loads of content coming out, different databases, the Manchester Central series as well. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're having a great day. I've been Booed. You've been great. I'll see you next time.